Hey guys. Wow. It's my big pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, Blender community, to having me here. And I will be happy to show you through one project I did for as my personal project for Behance. I posted it exactly 1 year ago. And it was made by nights after the work. I wanted to consolidate all of my experience I had within my 7 years career in automotive. So I made visu models, some designs, and put it all together into one bucket. And surprisingly, actually, because the project was personal, I was not expecting anything. The project got quite nice hype. It was published in Japanese magazines. It was published, printed in different design communities, and went pretty viral, which was, of course, I was super happy for this. But now, during preparing this presentation, I was finding some funny examples. For example, this one, someone made a fireplace out of my visu, or this TikTok post. I never actually seen this before, but once it was quite a surprise to see. It has a lot of discussions, hot discussions there. So I took some of the questions out of these discussions to answer today. But one thing, because it's quite interesting, but no of these publications were not mentioning that the project was made in Blender. And it's actually fully covered in Blender, starting from original idea to the final visu. So today, during the presentation, I would like to discuss and talk with you why did I choose Blender, how long the project took for me, why I placed 2JZ engine into it, what add-ons I used, and is it a copy of Mitsutani Shion from Cyberpunk? No. So first, quick intro. My name is Valentin Komkov. I'm automotive designer based in Prague. I have over 6 years of experience in Blender. Started with 2.8, and at the moment working at Aufer Design as a lead CG artist. Because Blender was not the first software I started with. My original 3D journey was starting with Archicad, then I switched to SolidWorks when I was studying mechanical engineering. And somehow, once getting into cars, I started loving surfaces, started counting all of these G1, G2 connections, and dived into alias. And once I started around almost 7 years ago, I started at Aufer. We had internal community of pushing Blender into automotive, and this worked pretty well. And I'm quite surprised because at the moment I got into this CG position and leading CG team. But these are some of my personal images I did with Blender, with cycles. These are some projects for Genesis, G80. See this one, GV80, I think. Actually, Cycles is getting super powerful in terms of visu, and I'm super happy to push it further. Some examples of Lucid. I was trying to place it on lake, Baikal, on a frozen lake. There are some videos coming soon, I hope so, for these projects. But of course, teammates matter, and always what you can create with a team. And what I'm super happy what we can create with a team, with my team and Aufer. I have few examples. One is Sherry Full Win. This is a 3 minutes long video. We created again entirely in Blender, and it went published and actually was presented on like 25 meters wolf in Shenzhen. Or another example is this one I have as an animation. I will play it just to show.
In the heart of precision, where innovation meets endurance, a force is being crafted. This is no ordinary machine. This is the new Tatra Force. Engineered for the impossible. Ready for the unknown. When danger is relentless, when the terrain shows no mercy, it's not just any vehicle that drives you forward, it's the Force. The Tatra Force takes you further.
Yeah, this guy is a superhero now. With this launch control drift at the end, it makes everything look sexy. But back to something civil, to this personal project 500sx. Just a quick disclaimer, yes, this is purely personal exercise. It has it's not related to any car brand. It's just something I batched with something, and that's it. First, the project, of course, starts somewhere in the mind or somewhere out of experience or expertise. In my case, it was my teenager's time when I was absorbing all of these JDM cars around me, and I have all of these beauties here as a mood board. I wanted in the project I wanted to bring this old school design approach, bring it or put some modern treatment, what today are German or German school of surfacing makes, and put it into this, work with some clean surfaces, make it functional, and of course to still have this JDM appealing. Of course I did it because it's already 2 years old, but even that time I made my personalized Pinterest. I made some mid-journey images to support my ideas and to keep everything together, and this was what I was starting. And another one thing, but quite important before you start the project, is package and powertrain, because you need to get some limitations for yourself. It's even with this personal project, you want to keep it grounded, you want to keep it somehow real life appealing. So in my case, it was electric powertrain. I was aiming for this Tesla, of course, modern Nissan Z, and actually DeLorean, because it has quite a nice stance and quite a nice proportions. So I wanted to keep this one as well as a reference. And these are the things I started to create some idea and to put this idea on a paper. It's quite important to mention here because I see it quite a lot, and people are trying to put their ideas in 3D immediately, and this doesn't really work. It's too complicated. Decisions in 3D takes too long. It's too long to judge. It's always better to decide first on a paper. Just make a napkin sketch. Try to visualize your idea somehow in 2D, and then you can add this third dimension because it's too complex. Question regarding this Mitsutari Shion. Of course, it was not a reference. I didn't even see this car before, and I have no proof. The only proof I have is my Steam screenshot. I never played Cyberpunk, and because of all of these personal projects, I never really have some time to play that games. Pity. That's true. So with this sketch and with all of this background you have, you are starting sketch modeling. Yeah, sketch modeling, it's because you are playing a lot. You are playing a lot with proportions. You are playing a lot with ideas, with wheelbase, and I usually put all of these references I have or mood boards into planes. And always my advice here is just start with big volumes and go into smaller things, because it's very painful to get back then to something which is really really important is proportion of the vehicle, it's the stance of the vehicle. So start with a big and slowly set the volume and then set the lines on the cars. And usually, yes, this one was actually the first file, and it was named Celica. It was not even Nissan at that time, but this is how it started. Yeah, it looks like a potato, and it's always this first one is just low poly potato, and you have to shape it and bring it something like muscular potato. So the car is just brings you this feeling of something defined and nice. So this one is version 15. I have some screen grabs of version 15, and you see it's already getting some shapes from starting from a bigger bigger things. You are getting into smaller, you're defining some ideas and bringing it into 3D. And out of this file, I started making some renders. And this actually was quite motivating because it was supporting the project to go further. At this moment, I said, like, okay, it's something fresh. This rear part is something fresh. I want to bring it further. I want to make it. I want to go on with this. And here is one small remark, because EV is fantastic. I love EV, but at the moment, it's workflow. You can model. Yeah, you can model and see a result in EV. But this is, well, I mean, you need sometimes this kick. Now it's nice. Yes, now this cycle renders looks nice, or now this render looks nice, and this kicks you off and gives you some motivation. So with EV, just be patient, trust the process, and stay motivated across the process. And with this part, we are getting more into modeling. For this, I want to showcase some of add-ons I use or I found super useful and daily using for getting nice details, nice surfacing. One is this extension. It's actually coming in a while to Blender extensions. It's super easy. What it does, it just always selects one collection out of another collection. I will showcase it on this example again out of EV. It's a bit later file. What? Go on. Here is an example. Yeah, I will show it how this works. I have this spoiler collection. You just right-click. You make it set as a switcher. And you can decide, you can check which one you like more from a different views. This is super helpful, it's super easy, but it saves so much time. Instead of placing it into view layers, you can just place it into one collection. It marks you with different colors, so you will always find these are your variants to select. It's super helpful and just can't recommend you enough. Another one, this one is actually, it's dated I think 2015, but it's so good. I still like I cannot imagine any project without this add-on. It helps you to get lines into the one plane and get it a nice tension. So guys, use it. Bezier Mesh Shapers makes I think the same, but I'm still stick to mirror tools, and it's a fantastic one. Another one actually from my previous colleague. Fantastic surface diagnostic. This one is once you are trying to put something super nice and clean, you are aiming for this A-class surface in Blender. This brings you so many tools and shaders to evaluate, to check the surface, to make a diagnostic of it. This is must-have for any automotive modeling. And of course, I met actually with Romain today, and it looks super. It's looking super optimistic regarding this surface psycho, because it brings you a quality of NURBS into Blender, and I believe this might be a big game changer for automotive. So check this, and I'm keep fingers crossed. And one more thing regarding the process. we all know this issue, yeah, because you try, this is some 1 minute task, you try to complicate it, you spend all night or a few days trying to make it procedurally, but then you're like, I will make it manually. But actually, one thing, because in one case, this one worked for me, and I'm happy this one is online. I have this license plate add-on online. You can just take it out of asset, you can place it onto a car, you can exchange any number, you can adjust it to a needs. Because, for example, BMW is putting München always, so it's always starts with M or M series or Wolfsburg, whatever. So this one is good to go for any case. You can export it to VRED, to Unreal Engine. And to make it even more, I have different versions of Chinese EV. This one is actually not selling at all. I don't know why. European, Japanese. So this is regarding modeling. All of these small tools making it much easier and much more pleasant as a process. Here I have this remark about the wheels, because wheels are quite important. Yeah, you have car is one, bonnet is one, but wheels, there are 4 of wheels. So take your time and make wheels properly. It defines a lot. It defines how the car, what is the stance of the car. It defines how proportions looks like at the final vehicle. So think of it and always take your time to make it properly. Regarding the question why I placed this 2JZ Toyota engine into it, this one is quite simple answer. I was just having nothing to do, I think, and found some space in the powertrain, in the electric powertrain, and like, what might fit there? And I spent another, I don't know, three nights placing it and trying to place it into this bonnet space, and I was super happy. Actually, I was super excited. I could fit it. So but at the end, I think this had a very nice outcome, because this is what is a part of this JDM soul. It's like, it's not only a clean vehicle. It's something. This web you can do with this as well. And that's how we are getting to Visu part. Here I have again a few remarks, because I do really recommend you to produce shaders. By this I don't mean, of course, like to take a knife in Blender and produce it. I mean just think of the nature of these materials. If this is a diamond cut, then it has to. There is a reason why this looks like this. If this is a flake in car paint or some orange peel, there is a reason why it looks like. Just think of this. Nature of the material, and then bring it to your 3D as well. Of course, these are fantastic shaders. I can't say thanks enough for sharing this even for free. But as well, I love Principal BSDF shader. It works fantastic. With one remark, bevel should be everywhere. Just put bevel everywhere, even on small details, on tires. Bevel just makes everything nice. So use it. And we are getting into lighting. For this, I have experience with Visu, because a lot of visualizations, I think, suffering with placing some 4K HDRIs. For previews, it's quite enough, but I do really recommend you to use 8K and 16K HDRIs, as it makes it. As it makes car paint looks super crispy. All materials are getting nice and juicy. And of course, at this moment, I do really recommend you to get assistant, because temperature, all of these shaders and environments take a lot of pressure on GPUs. And that's actually the way how you get into the renders, is for the final renders of the project. And I think I have the last one thing, and 20 seconds is Light Wrangler add-on, because once you are not placing your car into outside or into some sunny environment, you try to lit it. You try to lit it in studio. This add-on helps a lot, and honestly, I would say if I see this, I would say no. That's not how you do it. You just make it simple, make few lights, and that's it. But this add-ons helps you, and then you can start with the big lights. You can go step by step and bring another details into the render. This helps and actually changes the workflow you do. You do studio lighting. And the last question, how long the project took? It's actually took way too long, but it was a personal exercise. I was not trying to hurry myself. It was just making fun by evenings. So it took me over a year, and I'm still jumping back sometimes and trying to modify something even in a core of the car. But it takes really too long to get this done. Of course, there are more of content coming on my Behance or Instagram, I don't know. So please subscribe, and I hope you like the presentation. I hope you find some useful tools out of this. That's it from my side.